That which man calls mass is changing potential out of place, constantly seeking place because of its changing potential. By place, we mean equilibrium. The constant search for an equilibrium position by all mass is a reason for its constant motion. Accumulation of displaced energy from low equilibrium pressure walls to high equilibrium pressure walls, its storage as potential in various compartments bounded by these pressure walls, its redistribution into place by discharge, and its reproduction throughout the universe are sequential events in time dimension. Time in intervals of seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, centuries, periods, or cycles is a dimension measuring the sequential displacement and replacement of potential accumulated from inertia and redistributed into inertia. The intervals of time on this planet are standard units born of this planet's potential, which alone determines those intervals. As the potential changes, the standard units must change. The long year of our planet's low potential position in motion grew out of the shorter one of the high potential position held at birth because of the deceleration of its revolution. Our short day similarly appeared because of the acceleration of rotation, as the planet's potential was lowered by increased distance from the sun. Our year is now lengthening. It is continually expanding toward disappearance with the deceleration of our revolution, and our day with all of its subdivisions is gradually shortening. It is continually contracting toward disappearance with the acceleration of our rotation. The power-time dimension of each mass of a system expresses itself by deceleration of rotation speed time, which, thus retarded, expresses its equal and opposite reaction in accelerated revolution. They exchange attributes. Power is accumulated from time by the resistance of revolution to the speed of rotation by the application of its power brake to the fast rotating wheels at the cost of losing its own power and absorbing the lowered speed. This process lengthens days and shortens years. It is a charging effect. It transforms time into power by storing energy into mass, the universal storage battery. Just as mass contracts itself into appearance, so does it expand itself into disappearance. Just as the time intervals of this process contract, so do they necessarily expand. Potential appears because of preponderant charge. Potential disappears because of preponderant discharge. Jupiter's year is nearly 12 of our years, and its day less than 1/2 of our day. It is expanding its years into disappearance by decelerating its revolution, and is contracting its days into disappearance by accelerating its rotation. Contracting, generating bodies decelerate the speed of rotation of inner planets by proximity. The closer the planets of a system, the more the relative speed of rotation of inner planets is retarded by proximity. Each acts as a brake upon the wheel of the other until they gradually meld in rigidity. In melded rigid bodies, the speed of rotation of inner parts is less than that of the outer parts. Deceleration of rotation of the planets of a system increases the surface tension pressure of a system. If this law is well founded, then deceleration of speed of rotation must be related to the attraction of gravitation. Increase of surface tension pressure is nature's process of effecting cohesion through composition. The greater the deceleration of rotation, the greater the centrifugal force of contractive pressure. Expanding, emanating bodies separate because of their accelerated rotation. The further apart the planets of a system, the more their speed is accelerated by the release of the brakes upon the wheels of each. Acceleration of rotation of the planets of a system decreases the surface tension pressure of a system. If this law is well founded, then acceleration of speed of rotation must be related to the repulsion of radiation. Decrease of surface tension pressure by acceleration is nature's process of distributing assembled substances through decomposition. Our standard units of time or of any other dimensions are not a proper basis for calculation of the dimensions of any other potential. Relative time dimensions of different planets are very easy to determine, however, and through them, with such other relative dimensions which we can as easily determine, such as distance, relative areas, intervals of revolution and rotation, of plane, and other comparative dimensions, it is possible for us to compute those relative dimensions which we cannot otherwise determine, such as density, temperature, and pressures. We measure the mass and density of the sun and planets of our systems by our own standard units of gravitational intensity, just as we do their time dimensions. We arrive at wrong conclusions because our premises are wrong. Though it has been calculated to be only 25% as dense, the sun is, in reality, inconceivably more dense than this planet. The sun's mass is vastly more than 332,000 times that of the earth. Mercury is very much more than 1/21 of the earth's mass. And Jupiter is not 317 times the mass of the earth as calculated. As a matter of fact, Jupiter's huge volume is approximately only 8 times the volume that our Earth will be when in Jupiter's potential position. Jupiter is roughly only double the mass of the Earth, and Mercury's mass actually exceeds that of the Earth. When our planet has reached Jupiter's potential position, its diameter will be approximately 40,000 miles, which is nearly equal to the radius of Jupiter. Doubling the radius is equivalent to cubing the volume in direct ratio according to the universal law respecting all expansion pressure dimensions. Consider the opposite effect. When our planet was in Mercury's potential position, its diameter was approximately 2,500 miles, or less than that of Mercury. A time interval of a planet of an atomic system is as relatively long as the same time interval of the planet of a solar system. More than that, every planet of every atom has its own relative standard units of dimension, which are as appropriate to it as are those of any planet of our solar system. With the appearance of the intervals of duration comes the appearance of variation of the more and less of duration, which we call faster and slower, or acceleration and deceleration. Appearance of variation is as characteristic of time as of any other effect of gravitation and radiation. There is but one speed by which all motion is measurable, the speed of the universal constant. Less speed is but an accumulation of the speed-time constant transformed into power. More speed is but a release of that accumulation. Deceleration is but a contraction of time, and acceleration its expansion.